pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Motion to approve agenda.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Minutes approved. Communications.
Abby and I went and met with the sheriff and the chief deputy regarding looking into possibly providing an officer at the hospital over the weekend starting out. It's all in kind of the pre-planning stage to see if it's something we'd approve or not, but basically the hospital would cover all the expenses, and it'd be possibly a 40-hour a week employee, so it'd be just hiring another officer. It wouldn't be 24/7 on the weekend, but it'd be just one officer. Possibly in the future, maybe going to two, but like I said, it was just preliminary talks, and Rob's putting some numbers together, and we'll probably end up bringing the idea to the board. It doesn't sound like it would be a problem to me if they're gonna be covering all the expenses.
Usually the biggest problem is finding somebody.
They've already got somebody interested.
Oh,
So, there's, I don't know how to say this, but it's kind of like a job maybe where, like with us, you know, if we go into a specialty job at the end of our career, it's kind of a way to, you know, still be working, but then work your way on out into retirement, you know what I mean?
And down the road, it could be an introductory job, like we talked
Yeah,
about.
it could be an introductory job down the road, and then they would maybe, it could go both ways there.
like the courthouse, we have-
Yeah, well, it'd be a little different than the courthouse, because it'd be a full-time employee.
But as meant for as a retired person.
Well, yeah, this won't be a retired person, this would be like the person that's interested in it now is looking at doing it the last few years of his career. And then, you know, he wouldn't be out in the outlets in the winter time, you know, that's the benefit of it. Yeah, probably the cons of it would be, you're kind of stuck in one area, you're not
Right.
able to patrol around, but it sounds like it would be a good deal. The hospital's been looking at, trying to get some sort of security, and this seems like the best option that they found for them is to do it this way.
I'm just shocked at the necessity.
I think, you know, with mental health these days, you never know what can happen, especially on a weekend.
Well, no, Rob said the calls they get are just surprised.
And they like the idea of, you know, on the weekends, having someone there, you know, near the entryway when shifts are changing and the gentlemen and women are leaving to go to their cars, they'd have somebody there. So I think it's something that's viable that we could take a look at and see what Rob proposes, but he wanted us just to let the board know that they're looking into it, and if it's okay, he's still gonna proceed with researching it, and then he'd present something to the board later on. And other than that, I don't really have anything else for the week, I don't think.
Sorry, Chris just texted me about the chats. I don't see any. I don't see any chats. Did I have anything? My ECI meeting got moved back, so I didn't have that. Here he is. Hey, Chris.
Just turn me on.
Hey, Chris. You have to mute your end there.
I can see it, so.
Mute your computer because it's feeding back.
That's weird.
Is that weird, Kevin, for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still haven't turned your computer volume down, like all the way down.
Try that.
That's better. I don't think I had anything. I don't know.
Did I leave anything out on that meeting?
No, I don't think so.
I didn't respond to this yet. I got a message from Johnson County about the Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and we usually do a proclamation. We put the, if you are interested in putting in that agenda, she said sometime in September, or October. You guys want to put that on the agenda, or not? It's up to you guys.
I suppose.
We've always done it. I can try to reach back out to him, figure out if they want to be here for that, I think usually. I'll do that. Otherwise, I don't think everybody has anything.
I just sent that email that you requested, Kevin. I just found it.
I guess Dylan, you want to go ahead? Open the forum. You just said, do you have anything?
No, but Jonathan, you're talking about the hospital security issue. I think that's interesting stuff to be beneficial in a number of ways to at least look at.
Yeah, I think especially if it's, the cost is gonna be covered privately by the hospital.
This is a changing world and a real world that needs to bring Iowa needs to be forward thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
We got one.
courthouse lawn receiving.
Yeah. Okay, so I know you guys already approved, whoever to do that Bible reading the whole week. Was it the first week? Is it the week of Labor Day? They're coming to read the Bible in the courthouse lawn.
Maybe in the minutes of, was it last meeting we talked about, or 2 meetings ago?
So that is right after Labor Day.
Yeah, it'd be the Tuesday after Labor Day. Well, we're gonna be reseeding the whole entire courthouse lawn. So there's gonna be sprinklers going, and probably should stay off the grass, is all I'm saying. They can read it on the, is there a rule they have to read it in the lawn of the courthouse? Can they read it on the sidewalk, or?
You can't block sidewalks.
I think the last time they put up a little awning.
They put the little tent thing, yeah,
But it was in the yard,
it was in the yard.
it's the only problem,
Well, parking places are always usually full.
you know? They can do it in that, like the city right away patch of grass there, in between the sidewalk and the street, because we won't be doing it there. We won't be seeding that part of the yard.
Until the city says no.
Well, all I'm saying is if they sit in the courthouse lawn, they're gonna get wet.
Is there like the corner of the parking lot? Would they be able to?
See, I don't know, do they have to do it in the lawn, or,
There's
what
probably
are,
not enough room in the annex grass, is there? I still think there would be enough room.
There's only usually 3 or 4 people, there's not.
You have to pop up a tent and stuff. You put them in the annex front yard, then they get blocked the window, and it's kind of nice to see who's coming in.
Let me talk with
Yeah.
Alan and see what we can come up with. Alan has already contacted the person, right?
I think
He was-
so, because he
He
said
was
that,
gonna contact him about where they could set up.
because he's not that far, sorry, the far northwest corner was not gonna be touched.
stall the yard?
I'm just saying what Alan thought.
Well,
What-
That's fine.
When are they gonna reseed?
I'm gonna put seed in the ground August 29th, and it needs at least a month before anybody can walk on it and get mowed. Because, you're supposed to get the yard established before first frost in the fall.
So it's September 2nd, right? And then that's
Well, that'd be the second week. I'm gonna seed the yard the 29th.
No, I mean, they're coming the September 2nd, is that what we said?
Yeah.
For a week?
Probably the third.
Second, 3rd?
And probably, I think it took them,
I think it goes through the 13th.
Takes a week, doesn't it?
yeah, so I mean, they'll read from Tuesday to that Friday, and then they'll come back on Monday and probably finish up that following Tuesday
For
for reading.
the,
And like I said, I mean, it's no big deal to me, I'm just saying that if they're in their yard, they're gonna get wet.
I hate to see the work that we do get trampled.
Yeah. But there is a spot where the city right of way is that we're not.
Well,
doing.
yeah, I mean, I can call Lonnie.
Like I said, I assume that it wouldn't care.
I think it wouldn't be a problem if they're not next to the corner.
Well, it's our property still, right? Do they have right of way or is it city property?
Technically, the city's property, because
Okay.
that's where like the fire hydrants are and the water shut offs.
On the sidewalk in the streets, or always the cities.
I think it wouldn't pose a problem if they were like in the middle, like they're like towards the corner where they'd be able to block the view of traffic or something like that. I think that's.
Check with Lonnie to be sure, or somebody that's got.
I'll take a look after the meeting out there too, just to look around, and I'll talk to Alan.
I mean, I can,
It's also the city.
no,
Oh,
in the back
oh, the
part.
parking lot, no, I don't know. I don't know how far that goes.
I mean, I can block off those spots for
Yeah, in the parking lot?
Who's gonna lose their spot?
That's what I was thinking over in
It's
this
full.
corner of this parking lot over here.
I didn't know we had designated parking spots.
Used to be. That's kind of touchy.
Well, they're not designated technically, so I wouldn't pay too much mind to that.
them. So if you just want to come over after the meeting, you can just tell me where the blocks come off, and I'll do it.
Yeah, we'll just take a look and then talk to Alan, then we'll make a decision.
Okay.
I think between the three of us, we should be able to come up with an alternative form.
We can set those over here, so we.
You guys have any other questions for me?
No, you're just gonna keep us updated on how that goes. Carpet.
Yeah. Like I said, I have 3 different companies coming next week. Carpet Land, Bachmeyer, and Randy's. We're all coming Monday and Tuesday next week, so. Hopefully if if they can give me a bid back by,
Who's coming from Bachmeyer, do you know?
I don't know, I forget the guy's
It is a guy?
Yep.
It's a good one,
name. Is
then.
it Bill?
Maybe?
Is Bill working on? I can't remember. I know one of them's Bill, that's one of the companies.
Did you get the Randy's?
Huh?
Who's Randy's guy? You know,
No. I imagine they send somebody down.
okay.
But yeah, hopefully if I get something back by, hopefully Wednesday or Thursday, maybe I can try to sneak on the agenda to get something approved.
Do you want an agenda now and cancel out if you don't?
I don't know, let's just. No, probably not.
Okay.
Because the guy, Bachmeyer's coming on Tuesday. I don't know if we'll be able to get a turnaround before noon on Wednesday, so I can get on the agenda.
Are steps like, I should talk to you instead. Are steps like that hard to do with the,
No. So it's stretching, you got pad and stretching.
would that be open some night for me to do?
I would have them do it after you close one day, yeah.
That's fine. You
The
guys want,
steps will take all of an hour, 2 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it won't
I
take
thought that'd be
that
harder.
long. No.
I don't know if they have to be closed, because you could go around the other way, right? Or no, there's a single set of steps going up.
Make them take the elevator.
I think,
we'd have to do it on a Wednesday,
Or a
Thursday,
weekend.
Friday.
or a weekend. We work weekends.
I mean, whatever. Or like Kevin says, we can block off the steps, and if you need to get to clerk courts, you have to take the elevator. And like I said, it's gonna have to be on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because we have court Monday, Tuesday.
Well, the recorder's office have to be a weekend.
Yeah, that's
You gotta get everything out of there and then,
a whole nother thing. Because I've talked with Sherry about, hey, can we wait till a holiday, like that we have off, that not a lot of other people have off, so we can take everything out on that Friday, they can come on that Monday, put it in, Tuesday, we move everything back. But she seems like it's not gonna be a problem.
That's a lot of junk.
all the computers have to be unhooked, rehooked.
Yeah, that's. So since you're doing, this is, I don't know, I talked to you. So since it's the squares, can you do part of it at a time, just move stuff around, or that makes it worse?
Well, you can, but if
Why
I were
don't-
you, if you're gonna have them come in the evening or weekend, I just have it ready for them to rock and roll and clear right back.
A lot faster.
Or could Sherry just move into the passport office for a day? And they can do her office, and then we can move all her stuff back in there, and then they can do the passport office the next day.
Yeah, that'd be an option.
I mean, so we don't have to technically close the recorder's office.
I would ask about weekends. I mean,
I mean, I'm fine with coming in
it's
on a
pretty
weekend.
standard for them to work weekends.
I mean, I'm totally cool coming in on a weekend, and watching them do their thing. Doesn't bother me.
Wait for football.
Isn't that what they
games.
did
Then
with
you do
your
it
office?
He's gonna have to
Was that-
get done.
They do that on the
before
weekend? It was my, back before I had it, right?
That's gonna have to be pretty.
We only got 2 weeks. Only got 2 weeks.
You can do it for the hour, you can be in an Iowa State game.
No. No. I'll probably be in Iowa City. It's in Iowa City this year, I think. Well, no, that's all I, got for you guys, so. That's all I really came for.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions for Dylan?
You can get with me after the meeting?
Yeah, I'm gonna,
Okay,
do some investigation for you.
okay.
Did you get a chance to make the copies of that insurance stuff?
Yeah, I can, just get with me after the meeting, I'll get them to you.
Okay.
See you guys.
Nicholas?
First thing we have is 28E agreement with Maringo. Better late than never. It's for the V66. It's for their city park that we paved.
Randy's Road.
Yep.
Basically saying that we're gonna maintain it or whatever,
They pay for their half.
oh,
They're paying like around $100,000 for their park.
I assume Lou approved it.
No, I didn't contact Lou.
Maybe an interview between Iowa County City, Marine City, Ringo.
Probably better pass it pending Lou's review then. Or not Lou, I should say county attorney, because
City of Marengo's responsibility is paid for 3.87% of the total project cost, maintaining the portion of the roadway within the city limits after construction is finished. So this, it states what their share is, what they pay, and they still maintain it. So the board would like to have Lou look it over then?
yeah, the county attorney.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You know, it's
You
hard to
did-
get out
you
of
did the
that
same
habit.
thing.
Yeah. I'll make the motion to approve it pending the county attorney's approval.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion passed. So now do I give, you get that to Leah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. County attorney.
Are you gonna have them look it over then, Brady?
Yeah,
All right, so you might as well have them look this one too, so it'll be on the agenda for next week. That's, for
What's English?
North English.
Doing the same thing.
Both of the bridges that we are doing in-house, they're backfilling, so they should be open, I would think by the end of next week. And we did do the Wolfman's Bridge, we did do the deck pour this week.
What does that last part mean?
They used over 400 cubic yards for the deck. It's a lot of trucks, essentially, that's what that means.
I suppose you may complain about the dust.
So I don't think so, that I was aware.
I was wondering how, does it look really big now?
Well, yeah, I mean. Yeah, so it's coming along. Next, they'll do the guardrail sometime. So yeah, the projects are the two that we're doing, they're wrapping up. So we have a lot of our guys doing that, those two projects, and then we're mowing. We did get some rain, so we're grading, and then there's still crack sealing down on the F-67 or the B road. We should have that finished up in a couple days too, and then we'll move on to different parts. I did go to the Farm Bureau meeting last Monday.
How was that?
Excellent, excellent. They're a great crowd. So,
Any questions you want ready for?
nope, no, I'm ready for everything.
Good for you.
We did do some right-of-way meetings out there on Q Avenue. So, that's just north of the interstate. So we did put that, I finished up the plans then, and we put that aluminum culvert out for bid. And that'll be, I don't know, the end of the month or sometime. We did do the PCC bids. Open those up. If you guys want to pass that around, Midwest Contractors was the low bid at $136 a square yard. I believe they're going to start in September. So I like that price. Helling is out this week working on the bridge approaches. They did the county line fill it right south of Highway 6. They did that Monday. And then they finished up on B66, those two bridges. So it should ride a little bit smoother. And now they're over by Ladora. Did you bring that way in? Smoother, do you think?
Laura?
B66, those two bridges.
I brought that in.
Smoother?
Yeah.
It's hard to get it real smooth. I mean, but it's smoother than it was. You didn't even notice, Kevin?
I bring the Conroy Road in, I go home the other way.
Okay, all right. We did have a safety meeting on Tuesday. Trooper Bo from the State Patrol came in and talked about tying down cargo and distracted driving and other things CDL related. I thought it was pretty good show. The North English project, they're gonna start in September. We updated the 28E, so sometime we'll get that. Whenever Lou looks it over, you can put it on the agenda to do. And, yeah, I should start mid-September and go to, I think it's about a month. The only other things we have is we had a request, this is on F-67 and Q Avenue or PP Avenue, depending on which map you look at. They want to vacate some unused right-of-way.
Is that the one I talked to you about a long time ago? I thought the state owned it or something. This is different.
The state?
Martin's. Because that used to be 140, that used to be 149. By the water tower?
This is F-67 and Q. I don't know, there's like a deer ranch south of there. This is just south of Squirrel Bridge.
Oh, way down there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Went the wrong way.
oh, I never get it.
Yeah. So, we have two different ways we can do this. Before, we've always sent out letters. You guys set a public hearing. We have Lou review it, and we just come in and say we vacate it. According to the state IM though, instructional memorandum, since we're not changing any part of the travel roadway, if the portion vacated is part of the roadway held by easement and will not change the existing travel portion of the road or deny access to the road by adjoining landowners, a public hearing is not required. So you guys can do it by resolution if you like. Would you like to set a public hearing or just do a resolution?
I would like to have our county attorney involved, even though I understand what you're reading.
You guys just want to review all my stuff.
Well, not Lou anymore.
Tim.
Tim,
Tim's.
Dilly dilly. That's what I want. I don't know what the rest of the board agree.
I agree.
So what does that mean? You want to do a public hearing or do you want to do a resolution?
What
We want you to ask what Tim thinks and then,
What do you recommend?
Given the reading of what you read of what we can't do and let Tim decide.
What would Billy do?
yeah, we need bracelets.
Half lawyer by this point, right? All right.
If we're gonna get sued,
Huh?
we're gonna get sued by an attorney, a lot of attorney representing us.
Yeah, no, he'll back me. Don't worry about it.
That's fine. I'm not worried about you. What about us?
All right, so, you want me to shoot him an email?
Yeah, all it's gonna do is throw maybe another week into it. He'll look it over and it shouldn't be a big deal. So we give it back into the previous.
We just say we vacate it.
So
We just say we have no,
it'll be like a quick claim deed.
no, we just say we vacate it. We don't do anything. We just say, by a resolution, we now hereby vacate.
So then who owns it?
Do you want this
Who would
back?
own it?
Is this your?
And then I assume since they're farming it, they would,
It's already being farmed.
they would try to take.
Abby, do you want to see this?
Oh, yeah, do we need a
Do
motion
you
on
want to see
this?
this?
Nah, it's alright.
I don't know if you need a no, you don't need a motion on that. It's not on the agenda.
She has it on the agenda.
Well, you can if you want. Contract's already signed.
Yeah, you consider it maintenance.
Okay.
It is, Michelle.
And you still have Oxford wants.
Yeah, so Oxford, is asking to borrow our rubber tired roller for their tractor pull on September 14th. My vote would be no, but since they contacted me, I didn't know if one of you guys had sent them my way.
I mean,
No?
I mean, legally, you were not supposed to, and then.
loaner equipment out to a private entity, that sounds a good idea.
Is it the city or,
Just tractor pull in Oxford. So I don't know what that- I told them probably not, but I'll ask.
Yeah, I don't think we should.
I didn't know how
it's
we
one thing like
got.
with Williamsburg where we trade like services, but to have them borrow equipment.
Yeah, I don't know where you got my number, so I didn't know if you guys had any
I
correspondence.
didn't know anything about it.
No, man.
Chris, was it you?
No, it was not me, I'm innocent.
It's in Johnson County too, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'd probably have to go supervise, maybe run a tractor or two, have some beverages or something.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah,
There's probably maintenance companies over there that have privately.
yeah, I just didn't know how, I would usually just say no right off the bat, but I didn't know how we got.
Nobody that renewal that's involved.
So, all right, you guys will contact, McMeans about
The other two things that you
the
want.
28Es, and I'll talk to him about the vacation.
Talk to it.
Sounds good.
Talk to Tim, since we keep saying Lou.
They have the same email, so.
Sorry, Lou's been around here a long time. It's gonna be Lou forever. Okay, any other questions for Nick? Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I had some questions, Nick. PCC, what does that stand for?
Portland Cement Concrete.
Good enough.
Yeah, just concrete.
A very good article in the paper about the bridge and the conduits and the development of the county employee skills. And growth, that's good community stuff. Just wanted to let you know. Yeah, well, no, but thank you very much for the excellent article. And then one last thing, that nice patch of asphalt down by Williamsburg Outlet Mall and that area, is that county responsibility? You ever go through the stoplights and between the interstate and,
So we don't take control until out by the hotel.
okay,
The section from the hotel to the interstate is the city,
okay,
and they do have plans to redo that.
perfect.
The board of supervisors granted them $500,000 out of the STIP funds a couple years ago, so, at the same time, they granted North English money to do Washington Street. So you'd have to talk to Williamsburg on the time schedule for that.
Now, that's perfect. I don't know where all these demarcation, and that was what I was interested in. Thank you very much.
You got it.
Have a great weekend.
See you next. Yep, you guys too.
Adam, you're ahead of schedule.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chris on the phone.
Yep,
Is Al not on the phone?
Al is not here.
How's it going, Doc?
I'm here, so don't say anything bad about me.
Well, I wasn't gonna say anything bad about anybody. All right, our August report. July, we had 159 calls compared to 145 in June. Well, it's pretty simple because we only have 1 month, so that's what our average is, 159 responses, 120 transports, and 39 refusals or cancels. There were 30 times we had both ambulances out at the same time. We were able to staff a third unit 12 of those times, and we had third unit had 1 call out of those 12 staffed. We had 2 out-of-county ambulance requests. And our transfers for the month was 23, so that's our call report. Finance-wise, July expenses, $189,057 compared to a monthly budget of $282. Year-to-date's the same. So as far as budget, year-to-date, we're at $22,028 under budget. July actual revenue, $53,265, which is a little low, as the Medicaid rates and some of the insurance companies change over July 1st, so they do some tests to make sure everything works. So revenue will be back up in August. Year-to-date budget revenue is $93,000, so we're $39,944 under on the revenue side. Expenses versus revenue, actual $135,792 difference versus the budgeted difference of $117,974. So we had to get a negative cost variance for the end of July, $17,819. We're only 1 month in, so that should change in 2 or 3 months, hopefully. Our average charge year to date, $1,159.87, compared to average revenue for transport of $875.50. Our cost per dispatch call, $1,189.04, and our cost per transport, $1,575.48. I think we are expecting to take delivery of the new ambulance late September, so that'll, my budget will be upside down then for 6-8 months too.
Where's that coming from?
They're building it in Sumner, the Lifeline. We have all but one Lifeline. I believe that's $266,000. So, so my budget gets spread out. It's not going to look good for a few months. Patient satisfaction year to date, 97.91%. Activities, our regular stuff, 5A meeting, we did through that grant. I got some more educational handouts. So if you see some stuff coming from Positive Promotion, get some, I'm just gonna bring one just to go. EMTs are my friends that we give out for, we use them for National Night Out, Calumet Fair. We ever go to school and stuff. I just want to make you aware if you see that claim come through sometime. We did also get through the grant. You'll see these claims too. We got 2 new 6-foot tables for our trailer. We didn't have tables in it before. We had to take them out of the ambulance garage and haul them to where we needed them. We got 2 portable beds in there as well. We didn't have that before. We just had the lounge chairs. So we actually got some beds in there. And then we have a small generator, like I can carry it with one hand and put on this table, just to run fan and lights. The grant all covered that stuff. You got to find stuff it's a preparedness grant kind of. So you We use it for educational, preparedness stuff, but I can't use it for like regular day-to-day supplies, so. And that, there was money left over for that grant that people had not spent, so we got that stuff approved and it's all in, just in the process of paying for it. Active shooter exercise planning is ongoing, our protocol updates ongoing. We participated in National Night Out. Monday night, one of our staff did CPR at the Moringa Library for the PEO crew. We got staff scheduled, CPR for Iowa Valley staff scheduled for the 22nd, for 9/22, and then Sheriff's Office for 9, I think the IV staff's 8/22, that's before school starts, the day before. And then CPR for the Sheriff's Office scheduled in September. Vehicles, routine service, the repairs from the deer accident are all done and completed. Insurance proved that, and it was like because it was collision, I don't know, the deductible wasn't very much, it was only like $250 or something for that. I was like expecting the deductible to be more. We're still looking at new equipment bags, haven't made any decisions. All right, Raycom was out, updated our radios. Dylan fixed some of our lights that were going out in the marine garage. Unity Point, Biomed came out and did our annual preventive maintenance on our EKG machines. Personnel wise, Krista Byrne resigned her part-time position. Nick Staub resigns his full-time position. He wants to stay on part-time. We posted that full-time position. You've probably seen it on Facebook. It's posted downstairs too, and on our website. We got one employee on medical leave. They'll be back, I believe, September 12th. And that last part, I'm going to cross off because I just stopped downstairs and Cindy's back, and that's not exactly true. So there was concern that there's an employee on medical leave with that 750 cap, but we can actually pay more than 40% long as we don't pay them more than their total salary. So I don't need to talk about that. Safety, drug screens, background checks, claims, physical tests, routine stuff. No injuries May through July, but in August, we did have the injury, the sprained ankle through public health. Next safety meeting's coming up in October. And then, if you want, we can talk a little bit about basically anything over ambulance or safety before.
One question, the executive board meeting, didn't they used to be on that?
For the preparedness grant?
The executive board meeting. I got invited to a couple of meetings down there, remember, at your building, and
We haven't had those meetings. This is for the regional preparedness group.
okay.
They just have a big one in Iowa City. I didn't make. This is hospital, public health, and ambulance.
Okay, that's one of the other one I didn't know.
That's the EMS advisory committee.
Okay,
And I don't have one of those scheduled yet. We'll hopefully have one by the end of the year. Yeah. Yes, you did come to this, yes.
Just to refresh my mind, when and where is the active shooter exercise going to be planned?
That'd be at the Iowa Valley Elementary on October 11th. That's the Friday.
you gonna be at the Williamsburg one?
Yeah, it is Friday.
Yeah, October 11th at the elementary. It's gonna be this afternoon. I think we have to all meet at noon at the fire station. What are you asking?
It's gonna be like the Williamsburg one they have?
Yeah, this is the first one we've done with actually evacuating the elementary, I think. It's gonna be, the high school gets out early that day, but they're gonna keep the elementary kids, evacuate them to the Legion, I believe. And then all the elementary kids will be out of there, and then we'll have some high school kids be our actual victims, actors for the situation, so we don't scare the little kids. I think about, I don't have a timeline in front of me yet. I think by like 2:30, we stop for like an hour, and then we bring the kids back, get them on their buses, or send them home and get them out of there, and then we come back for a debrief after that. So, and then there's gonna be some training going on September 3rd with the fire department down there for rescue task force training, where we take You take like one police officer, two police officers, and then a couple fire person and an EMS person, you go in, get the victims, bring them outside, and then to a treatment area. So that's what rescue task force do.
That one's gonna be where?
They're gonna do that at the school on September 3rd in the evening.
Okay.
So, hear anything about that going on? Next, I got a little bit of the research I did. I had to spend a week on this research, but
Thank you.
it was brought up at end of our safety meeting about policy for managing sick leave before and after holidays that apparently it's occasionally it gets abused. Not necessarily my department, so I looked at some stuff. Couple things we have is there's running, I think the real issue, I guess, is there's no incentive not to be sick here. We have separate sick, vacation and sick are separate. We accumulate a lot of vacation. You know, you can bank up to 960 hours, a lot of vacation. And when you are actually sick or need to be off for medical leave, short-term disability has to kick in after 2 weeks. So you don't even use all that sick time. A couple things I came up with, you know, as long as we keep that bank, there's no incentive not to use it. You could reduce that. I'm not advocating any of the stuff, just giving you some ideas. Could have restrictions around the holidays. Some places will say no unexcused absences before or after the holiday. You don't get the holiday pay. I don't know what's excused versus excused as part of it. That can be difficult to manage. Some places have sick leave incentive insurance programs. The state of Iowa has one. We did one about a year ago in Marengo. The other thing, do we need short-term disability to kick in after 2? That's our contract that it kicks in after we have to take it after 2 weeks. When we're looking at benefits, is there another option? Do we need short-term after 2 weeks? I don't know. I have a few samples in there. What I didn't put in there, I mean, this is probably like a committee or a work session or something, a further discussion for you guys, like, you know, some places have PTO or sick and vacations combined, you know. Some places have where you can convert 4 hours of sick time to an hour of vacation too, so there's a lot of different ways you can go with this. So,
Does the board have any opinions of what they'd like or not? Do you want to touch it or leave it alone?
I mean,
Sounds like more in my research and talking to different department heads, the department heads are pretty in favor of B.
yeah,
It's not just one department. I don't think that struggles with this issue.
yeah, we're a little ambulance, they know, you know, most of our staff's pretty dedicated. They know we got a staff 24/7. They know if you're sick, somebody has to come in on their day off and replace you, so. I don't feel like, I mean, there's probably some that just lie to me, but I think we're pretty good on that, and the things, but, and then the other thing, we don't use, at least how I've been doing in payroll, like, if somebody uses sick time during a holiday week, we don't give them extra than their 48 hours, you know, because they're already on overtime for us, the 48-hour employee. So if somebody was sick, normal work week, holiday week, they'll have 48 plus 12, so they'll have 60 hours that week. If they're sick a day, we'll just keep them on 48. We won't pay them extra for that. So they do know that, same as vacation. We just always had that policy to make it fair. But yeah, I mean, I think that's the simplest, but I don't know how you know, do you say?
I think you have to require doctors now, but
Yeah, how do you make it excused versus unexcused? I just think if you guys don't do something, you may see departments trying to do stuff on their own, so.
Yeah. I think requiring a doctor's note with option B isn't a bad idea. Chris, do you have any opinions on it?
I'd have to do some more research on it. I mean, I know it's abused, that's for sure. I've seen it, up close and personal at different places. So, like I said, though, I'm afraid the department heads are gonna start taking their own initiative if we don't do something.
Do you guys want Kevin and I to, as the personnel committee, to have more research and opinion put into this and come with a recommendation to the board, or do you want to still keep it as a whole board?
I think maybe you and Kevin should maybe get together with the department heads. Would that be a good idea?
Yeah, we could do that.
Make it like Adam said, a work session and kind of go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my past employee, I was in the SPOC union, and we could bank ours, and then it would go towards our health insurance or life insurance after we retire, so. That was an incentive to save your sick leave, so a lot of us, we would take vacation when we were sick because we wanted to save that. But that's a great expense though, how would you implement that when you've already got existing employees and other employees coming on now? So that would have to be, that'd be a lot of meetings to try and figure that one out.
Yeah, and I don't know what we're sitting on. I mean, we got 10 employees and they're looking at retirement in the next 2 years. It could be a huge expense, so.
Right, I think the option B would be a good starting point, and just see what happens with it. But I would actually, like Chris said, take the opinions of our department heads and see what we can come up with.
I could also just send out an email as well to the department heads and just ask for feedback. Say the meeting.
I mean, I don't, as far as my department, either way is fine. I don't.
So we include all the electeds, everybody in this,
I suppose.
we could do that, send out the email, think about it, and I'd rather almost do like an in-the-face meeting than after that.
Okay.
In person.
I mean, your elected are the ones, I mean, us that are working for you guys, we have to follow, I mean, do what you want. So elected ones, if you don't do something, they can probably do what they want.
Well, everybody that's controlled underneath our policy should be involved.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you want each elected department head to start to do their own thing.
Right, but everybody has insight or an opinion, then
Yeah.
there'll be a majority rules and we will.
Yeah, imagine like the sheriff's office is like you, there was not a problem because.
Well, they wouldn't apply to it anyways because they're under their own contracts, either with secondary roads.
But they follow our policies and their rules.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, you're right, but they have their own.
I just want to bring you some of that food for thought. I don't know, kind of the messenger or something.
Is consensus, you want me to send an email then, Kevin?
Yeah.
I'm surprised it hasn't been talked about before.
We'll talk after about when we want to do it.
Okay.
We'll shoot a timeout.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Have a good week.
You too.
See you, Chris. Keep getting out here.
Yeah.
You just a bunch of carpet books today.
I don't know. I'll just come here.
Linda, you can come on if you want to come up early.
Sure, I'm more than happy to come on up early.
We get dinner. How are you?
I'm, still have a little laryngitis, but yesterday I spent the whole day at the Williamsburg schools. We did, Josh arranged for them to have a big meeting to do emergency preparedness for active shooter. And one of my staff and I presented Stop the Bleed yesterday, so we did 6 classes. So that was a lot of talking. It's good. And I still have the credit, so.
Keep your distance, take it back out with you. Don't leave any crud behind.
So, I'm here today to talk, about, the HR policy, number 12, which is employment status. So I think most of you know a little bit about the background, but I just want to come here and, see what the next steps are. So, a little bit of the background is that, the Board of Health approved on 3/21, so back in March, a staff member to increase her hours to greater than 30, but not 40. And at that, and we knew at that time that that allowed the individual to qualify for medical insurance based on federal law. The minutes actually state that the employee would receive prorated benefits, but it doesn't state anything more specific than that. So this kind of creates a donut hole as it looks to the county policy, and that's where I'm here to talk to you today. So if you do you want a copy of 12? Do you have it in front of you?
I have it.
Do you have it?
I'll take a copy just so we can cross-reference on that.
So that way you can see right in front of you what I'm talking
I
about.
have it on my computer, but I want to cross-reference it with someone.
So, I'm here on behalf of the Board of Health because we want to basically figure out what this donut hole means. What does it mean for our employee? So if you do look at the policy, it's very clear that there's a regular full-time status employee, and there's a temporary employee, and then there's a variable employee. Those are kind of the three categories. So we all kind of know in our mind what a regular full-time is. I mean, that makes sense. The temporary doesn't apply to the circumstance because it's not seasonal or occasional. And then when we talk about part-timers, a lot of times we talk about them as part-time, but they're really variable hour employees because they're less than 29 hours. So this donut hole that I'm talking about is that little category between greater than 29, right? Because if you're working 29 or less, you fit into that variable hour. But if you're greater than 29, where do you fit? So if we look at the regular full-time, it talks about public health being 40 hours for the week. So it is clear that that person is not full-time based on that definition. It's also clear that the person is not a variable hour employee based on the fact that they're working more than 30 hours. So it's this donut hole, where do they fit in? And I'm focusing on this policy because there are other things that are affecting it. What other benefits does this person apply for or get applied to? But until we have a status, all of the other policies don't really matter. Does that make sense? And we don't know how to call this person. So at the last meeting, so does that donut hole make sense? I'm calling it a donut hole.
Well, it's, unfortunately, then be devil's advocate, or what you want to call me on this, is we try to make sure we didn't have any of these kind of donut hole people.
Yeah, the board's wish would for the Board of Health to not have done that. That would have been the Board of Supervisors' wish,
Yes. So
which I made clear.
Because we didn't have anything that applies to that type of person.
And because our HR attorney designed this policy in specific for that reason, because of HR protection for the county to insulate us from liability.
And so the Board of Health recognizes that there's this donut hole. And
They created the donut hole.
they created the donut hole. They're aware of that. And again, I'm the messenger here to try to figure out what can we do to fix that donut hole or close that donut hole. And my understanding at the last meeting was with my Board of Health that their first desire was not to create their own policy. It just doesn't seem right, just because, just as you were talking about a previous issue, everyone can create their own policy and then it'd be havoc across the county.
Can I just ask a question here,
sure.
not to interrupt, but help me understand, how does this employee not fit into the employees working less than a normal week, but 30 hours a week or more on a regular basis may receive prorated benefits? This employee don't fit
So-
that category?
So I would agree, I think that fits into that category.
They use the word may.
May, oh, okay.
Yes.
It's
So,
not shall.
Okay, and so then what was, I see reference to 2 policies, what's the other policy then?
The
So-
holiday pay is
the
the,
holiday.
so this employee is getting everything but holiday pay. And that's when Galloway, I sent you his response, said as a strict read, she is not eligible. Unless the Board of Health or Board of Supervisors chose to change that.
So part of my question to you too, I'm not a lawyer and I don't want to be one. I'm not gonna play one today. It's how do you interpret that full-time policy? Is just what you're reading. Because the employee could fit into there based on how you read it.
Like Kevin says, it says may.
Yes. So
And that's probably why the attorney says either
the,
the Board of Health or the Board of Supervisors could adjust the
could
policy.
adjust it, so the difficulty here is what is also federally mandated. So if an employee works over 30 hours, by federal law, you have to provide them medical insurance, medical benefits.
Other than that, we're not required
Yeah,
to
there's,
provide other benefits.
So then this employee is provided medical.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So the other part of this donut hole piece is, on a week with a holiday, for instance, that employee may not be able to work 30 hours without working the holiday. And the part of it is if you don't average 30 hours per week, you then lose that benefit.
But you also can work more than 40 hours a week if you include the holiday.
And it could be made up on another week, like you could do 33 or
So if you
34
have
one
one day
week.
at the
and-
holiday, and you get your 30 hours, normally you get 4 days, then you get paid holiday pay, then you work for 30 hours.
Which is exactly the discussion that the Board of Health had at the last meeting, is the employee will have to find ways to find the 30 hours between the 2-week period, or, yeah,
I'm over,
yeah. But that was the
How could you
discussion.
work over?
because you're getting paid, if you're getting paid on a holiday, if you're working 30 hours and 4 days, and you get holiday pay for the 5th day, you just went over you're being paid for more than 30 hours. Right.
Correct, but then there's also some
Then you're-
discussion about when you are working 30 hours to get that benefit, is it really, does time and a half really qualify? Because time and a half is a compensation benefit, not an hours worked. So there's lots of gray areas, and we don't like gray areas, that's why I'm here. And so the question that, my chair and I had the discussion with is, the first question essentially is the Board of Supervisors, willing to adjust the HR policy? And if not, which we would understand, then what kind of feedback could you provide to the Board of Health that we would look at our own policy in order to close the donut hole?
I'm not changing the
I don't want to
policy.
change ours because it affects not just you,
Mhm.
it affects everybody else, and that's another can that we don't want to open up.
I mean, why wouldn't every employee want to work 32, 31 hours a week and get all?
I mean, we don't
benefits?
offer that, but I don't want to.
But that,
be
I
an
mean,
op- I don't want it to be an option.
why wouldn't they,
Oh, that's missing income. I mean, some people
Unless you're
can't
salary.
do that. That's,
Most of our employees in other departments are salary.
But the reasoning isn't overly important, it's just that I don't want to open that. We have our policy then, and we haven't had a problem with this part that I'm aware of any other time.
I hate to change for one more thing.
part of our challenge we talked about at the Board of Health meeting is that when you look at people in healthcare, the demand for people in healthcare right now is just so high that the only way you can get an employee is to have some kind of flexibility. Having difficulty finding full-timers because they don't want to work full-time, they want to work part-time.
But you have to look at, from our point of view, that you're just one spoke in our cog.
Correct.
And so my chair is asking for me to come here and ask for this clarification. And if the board is not willing to make that adjustment, which is what I'm hearing, then we'll have to go back to the Board of Health and determine how they want to handle this.
I thought we decided last week that we didn't, or last month, that we didn't want to create a policy that went against the supervisors. That was the consensus. I thought that was the consensus of the Board of Health meeting.
So what I understood at the meeting is that they didn't want to create their own policy if the county, because the county would have the blanket.
But I thought I made it really clear that we were not interested in that. Then I knew that we would not be interested in changing our policy.
But I don't think this board needs to make a motion to not change it.
That would have to be the discussion amongst them.
Yeah.
So, I think there were multiple opinions at that meeting. And I don't think there was an agreement to say one thing or another, other than the immediate, that the employee should work 30+ hours, no matter if there's a holiday or not, to make sure that they were, not gonna lose their benefit. So that, and that makes perfect sense, right?
Well, the thought process is, you know, your holidays on a Monday or whatever, you have 4 days to work the 30 hours, you know, like you can still have that holiday off. You don't have to work the holiday, but you still have 4 days to make 30 hours.
Correct. However, if your personal circumstances don't allow you to work a particular day of the week, you can't just make it up because it's a different day.
Yeah, which in that case, they could work Monday and get holiday pay at time and a half.
Correct. That's the other option. The challenge with this is that when the employee was allowed to increase hours, it was not very well, it wasn't in black and white. There was no communication about what would be offered and what wouldn't be offered. You know, again, the statement in the Board of Health minutes was prorated benefits. Well, that can be interpreted in a lot of different ways. And so we just want to make it very clear so that there is no, you know, so no donut hole for that possible litigation, the employee not being treated fairly. So.
Well, there is, I mean, the policy's clear.
Yeah.
So the donut hole was created by the Board of Health, and it is up to the Board of Health's responsibility, in my opinion, to clarify that.
At this time, this board does not really need to change their policy.
Okay.
Correct, is that, you agree, John?
Yeah, I
Chris, are you on the same page?
Yes, I agree.
Okay,
Okay, that's what I needed to know to take back to my board, so. So that follow-up question then, is there any feedback that you have as related to what benefits that you would support in a Board of Health policy beyond what we already are doing?
I personally did not support the 3/4, you know, going against county policy in the first place, so I wouldn't support any policy.
I don't, okay, so,
I don't think it's our discussion to have.
right, I
Yeah.
was just gonna say, that's
I think
your
Yeah,
board.
it's not whether you support a policy, it's what would you recommend we put into a policy?
But see, we don't want that policy in the first place.
I'm not on your board, I can't.
We want something that aligns with the county policy.
That's what we
I
want,
can't
yeah.
tell you what to do.
Okay.
That's your board.
Okay.
Sorry, I know it sounds smug or, but that's what you have your board.
We want everyone to follow the county policy, because that's what's best for the entire county. That's what we want as the Board of Supervisors.
There are instances with certain entities that have their own policies, and I understand that. But that's their board, that's not us.
I will take that to my board.
Part 2.
So I will politely defer providing an annual report. That was already planned for my September meeting with my Board of Health, and once I present it to my Board of Health, I will bring it to.
So in the future, and I think the board's passed this, it'd be nice if we could get, you could make it on your time frame, maybe twice a year, stopping in and giving us updates of what's going on, and if you have bad things going on, let us know before everybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think, I didn't realize you were gonna be presenting to your board, and I think that'd be appropriate to present it to your board
first.
before you
Yes.
present it to us, so
Yes.
I think that's appropriate.
So I didn't have, we didn't have an annual meeting or an annual report in July because we're still collecting that data, so. But, whatever I have is very transparent. If you have any questions that you want to ask of me about, what is going on, I'm always willing to answer any of those questions. And I hope that you all know that.
Okay, Chris, do you have any other more questions?
Nope, I'm good right
Keep your foot up.
now. It is.
Are you gonna be attending the Eastern Iowa Mental Health meeting at the end of the month?
So I'm conflicted right now because my intention is always to attend. I've been in attendance every single one.
I can't, so I was gonna.
Yeah, unfortunately, that day there is a suicide prevention task force training. It's the same, it's like an all-day training.
That's fine, I'll talk to Marilyn and see if she's gonna zoom in, so.
Yeah, yeah. And
I
I'm
just
sure
see,
that,
I just wanna see what information comes out of it, since I can't be there, but.
yeah, with all the alignment and everything that's coming up. And
I'll
so,
see if Marilyn's gonna listen in.
and so, watching a previous, meeting that you all discussed about the alignment with the East Mental Health regions or the behavioral health districts that are coming out, you get to provide feedback to the state, will be assigned. So, whoever ends up being the ASO for the new region that we now belong to, or the new district, will be assigned by the state by December 31st. But this contract will carry through until July. So there's that coverage. But yes, we're definitely now in a rural region, a rural district, outside of the large metropolitans.
So your meeting in September, you'll call in to set up your time, or do you?
I'm
Make sure-
happy to do it now if you want to. The next Board of Health meeting is on September 25th.
Just so you don't forget, that's what I'm gonna get on
Yeah,
the agenda.
get it on the calendar. If we want to do it that Friday, that would be,
The 27th at 10.
sounds perfect.
All right, just didn't want it forgotten.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
I knew you guys would be running ahead of schedule.
We try.
Oh, we're gonna go on break. We can sit there.
Yeah.
I'm back at 10:30. Are you ready for me then?
Yeah.
Sounds like it didn't matter. You're coming up.
You got it. Well, I made copies for everybody and.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. What this is.
Well, I have a VLL,
Building at least land.
building on leased land. I can't sell them at tax sale.
But this is, they got rid of doing that?
No, I still can't. BLLs don't, I can't sell them at tax sale.
They used
What
to
is
do,
it?
they used to do billboards, didn't they, and trailers and stuff?
Not to take them to tax sale. I mean, I still have taxes on them, but I can't sell.
But you never,
VLL.
you never could, buildings at least land.
Buildings on leased land. So what it is like, maybe it's a mobile home, and like this case, the son owns the mobile home and the dad owns the land.
Or a trailer course even. Are they, those are,
No, those are different, trailer courts are different.
what about?
So this is considered a VLL.
What is it?
If it was just a mobile home, I could take it to tax sale, but it's considered a VLL, so I can't.
What about, billboards? Are those BLs?
Well, it depends if the landowner is the one that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking of that,
You said it's man,
Mock Nick over there. He owned the land that billboard was
but
on.
most along the interstate are BLs, right?
Mhm.
Because that used to be an issue.
Yeah, so I have, like I said, a son and father, mobile home, DLL. And the father is wanting to come in and pay, the taxes go back all the way to 1617.
Oh geez.
So the father is wanting to pay all the back taxes, but he was wanting to know if you would forgive the penalties.
Why weren't they paid?
Well, he got a new mobile home, so they set this one off to the side. And then he moved in, and I think where that one sits, he owns the land, he bought like an acre from his dad, but then he just left the other one sit. Well, you still own taxes even though it's sitting there. And I know we've done this in the past just to kind of get it off the books. Yeah.
And
So this is-
$1,074 is better than nothing, because
This
this could sit there forever.
This is on the old one?
This is on the.
Is he gonna get rid of the old one?
Yes, they've gotten rid of it now. They've gotten rid of it. But he'll still owe 2 more years. See how it went from, like, the oldest is at the top, 16, 17, and then 18, 19, it's still 175 a half. And then in 1920, it went to just $45 a half. That's because they switched it to like just a shed, because
So-
nobody was
so-
living in it, and like, yeah, so we will get 2 more years. We'll get this year's, and then we'll get next year's at the shed price, and I have let him know that he's gonna owe a couple more years yet.
We can do this and this has been done.
This has been done before. We'll just do an adjustment, and Brandy and I will write up an adjustment, and we'll take those.
Is that your recommendation? Just so
That's
we get
what I
some
would say, and then we get it off the books.
I would agree to doing that.
And like I said, at least we're getting $1,074 as opposed to nothing for,
We go to court.
Did they come in like 2018 and say it's now classified as a shed, or is that just something you figured out later?
no, we kept sending bills, and then the dad said,
But then they still didn't pay it.
but they still didn't pay. Because I think the dad thought the son was going to, and the son's not. So I think he's just tired of
Yeah, I don't
being out there.
have a problem supporting your recommendation, so
Let's make a motion,
I'll make a motion to go with whatever the treasurer recommends.
reconsider it.
I'll second.
Woo!
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved.
And I will make sure I have the money in hand before
Taking off the
we
interest.
take off the interest.
Good idea.
And your check is clear.
So I saw this plate today. It's just
You can have all
Hmm, I have not seen that.
That's what they had on there for a license plate. They had no plates, no numbers, there was one on the front and the back. Just parked it in my.
American State National.
I'm sure it's somebody that's protesting the government and doesn't believe they should have to pay the vehicle registration because they're an American citizen. And the state of Iowa should be charging them.
We got a couple of liquor licenses.
Because they live in their own.
Yeah. But I just never seen one. I didn't
I
know they
haven't
had one.
either. And I can't believe they put like flag in.
That's what it looked like.
Never seen those.
And so then there's no way to see who it is either.
What is that?
It was a van, and that's what they had on there for license plates.
That's
And
legal.
it was just, it looked like she was living in the van, it was just full of stuff.
Mhm.
It was parked at the Casey's.
Where can I get one of those?
Yeah, what does it say? Not for something though, too?
Not for,
Is that one of those people?
Not for hire.
private automobile, not for hire.
No, unfortunately, I have to do all mine for free.
Yeah. All right, well, you guys have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Oh,
You as well.
yeah, I see you're looking over my semi-annual today.
Yeah.
Have you got the emails?
I did get one. I've only gotten one, that it had been updated, and Jennifer O'Neill, do you have that? Have you heard anything?
Well, Jennifer said we have to split them.
Okay.
But then I emailed her back and said, we have other parcels that have 2 different tax sales certificates in 2 different years. Why can't we just look at it like that? So I'll see what she says.
Okay.
The problem might be pulling it from your side to my side, putting it
Make it
together.
on that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see Hi.
Did you see the email from Colton?
that they got that fixed.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
good.
go out when I get done and pull those, just to make sure.
So
Might
then
pull
can-
a few more, just to make sure that.
Right, but if we can't do that, you're gonna have to, where will you have to?
Just recreate the file.
Gotcha, and then send that out. Okay. All right. Have a good weekend, everybody.
You too?
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
right?
Oh, yes.
Liquor licenses,
Motion to approve?
Second,
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved. Compensation Board Reinstatement Resolution 2024-08-16, consideration approval.
Do we want to wait for Alan, because I know he was no?
He's the one knowing everybody else is okay with doing it.
Okay. I don't know if he wants to make his mark, but Well, we all know that. We'll note that. Everyone know that's listening, like Alan doesn't know. I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion approved. Alva County Board of Supervisors Compensation Board Representative appointments.
Let's wait on next. I think he was gonna talk to Swifty.
He did, I think he did already.
I thought he did already.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yes, Swifty and
Gary Ball.
Gary Bowen.
They're both in.
I'll make a motion to appoint Gary Bolin and Mark Swift as the supervisor compensation board representatives.
I'll second
I'll
that.
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved. Do I need to slow down?
She wants to get out of here too.
Alva County Board of Supervisors Compensation Board Representative appointments. So this is, when do we do the thing
Yeah, what is number 9?
drawn out of the hat?
I don't know, it's just,
We do
she
that.
didn't
It's
want
not a
to,
job fair.
just that flyer to inform you that,
That was that flyer that everybody got.
and it's been posted.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think there's anything we need to do.
That's just your note.
So wait, stop. So when do we do the drawing of the hat?
No.
Okay.
For what?
We have to stay in appointments.
For compensation boards, is
Oh,
we have
for
to
the terms?
stagger the terms.
Yeah.
So the first 4, drawn will
Give
be
me your hat.
4-year terms. And then the remaining,
There's a hat.
the remaining
So
the
have all
remaining
the,
will be 2-year terms. So you
have
get
all the
one.
departments submitted someone?
No,
So we're just
but
gonna,
what you're drawing is supervisors, since you have 2, one has 1 on it, one has 2 on it. Since you appointed Gary Bolin first and Mark Swift second, we'll just call Gary Bolin 1, Mark Swift 2.
And then I assume you have yours in there and a couple other
Yes.
department heads.
So, I'm drawing out, well, I'll draw. I can do it.
so then what were the other ones? How many do I need to draw?
Draw one at a time, right?
What are we drawing for?
The appointments for the terms for the compensation board, who gets 4-year terms and who gets
Attorney.
2?
Oh,
So the attorney gets a 4-year.
what if we get rid of it next year?
So draw another one.
Well, then they're bye-bye.
Okay.
Recorder?
Keep going.
Supervisor number 1?
That's Boland, right?
Weird. Got number 1 first.
Since we're keeping the compensation board, now who sets the meeting for the compensation board?
Well, you guys volunteered to do it.
Yeah, we probably do need to do it.
Auditor?
Well, if we do,
So the attorney, the recorder, supervisor number 1 position, which would be Gary Boland, and the auditor. Our representative will be 4-year terms, the remaining will be,
So we draw no more.
the last 3, which would be the treasurer's representative, the sheriff, and the supervisor number 2 representative will be 2-year terms.
Perfect.
So right there,
so when should we set the meeting? Should we set the meeting? Or give them a week?
Well, no, we don't set it till the end of the year.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking what, I would like to have it done and, they can meet in October, can't they?
we could.
Technically, yeah.
The sooner the better.
Well, I nominate you as the compensation board, corraller.
One person.
Second.
Yeah.
I gotta think in my head, so.
All right.
If you ever have time and you're just sitting around.
Second week of November.
We still gotta have some name to the board yet.
You still listen to what you said. You said you still letting everybody's representative.
No.
So let's wait till we get everybody at least.
2 left to get it to you.
Okay, treasurer's semi-annual report to the board, January 1st to June 30th.
Chair note.
Anything for next week's agenda?
I can't think of anything.
John, do you have anything on?
No, I don't.
What was that?
Anything for next week?
Oh, I want, conservation on the 13th at 10 o'clock, if that works.
Okay. She says, it's okay.
Okay.
For,
I
for
notified him, so he said he's good to go that day.
update, just the department update?
September. Anything else for anybody? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
I
Opposed, say nay. We are adjourned.
All right, see you guys.
See you later, Chris. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, I'll be sitting still.